Golden State killers suspect Joseph DeAngelo, who is now in his 70s, is certainly not the first cop to be accused of using his badge to aid in a murderous hobby. Ronald Glenn West, also in his 70s, is currently in a Canadian prison, serving an indeterminate sentence for, among other crimes, 2 counts of non-capital murder, which carry life sentences, armed robbery, robbery with violence and use of a firearm while committing offenses. He joined the Toronto Police in 1966 when he was in his early 20s and left the force only a few years later in 1972. His subsequent criminal career included home invasions, violent robberies, rape, and cold-blooded murder. In 1991, West was also named as a suspect in a 1991 double homicide and robbery at a Blind River, Ontario rest stop. However, he has not been changed with those murders. The identity of the Blind River killer is still something that gets much attention online, as amateur sleuths try to solve the almost 30-year-old case. Ronald West left the Toronto Police voluntarily to seek other employment, according to the Canadian newspaper The National Post. He was married and had 2 sons, Joseph and Gavin. According to the Toronto Sun, after a second marriage, he lived with wife Rena Lacroix and the boys in Blind River, Ontario. According to License to Kill, at the time of his arrest in 1995, he already had a long rap sheet for theft, battery, and drug possession. In 1995, West was arrested in a series of robberies in the Sault Ste. Marie area of northern Ontario, according to the Toronto Sun. In one case, West admitted to visiting an elderly man who was advertising a hospital bed for sale. West left, saying he needed to consult his wife. The next day, he returned. As the victim told the paper, he turned his back on West and woke up the next day trussed up, gagged, and missing money and valuables. This was a signature for West's robbery spree, in which he would tie up or blindfold victims in their homes or businesses, which included stores selling jewelry and furs. In the summer of 1995, he pawned some of his stolen goods, rings and gemstones, using his driver's license as identification, enabling police to track him down. West pleaded guilty to the robberies on August 5, 1995. At sentencing, the judge called the crimes shocking and coldly planned and said they all can impose terror. West was serving an 8-year prison sentence at Kingston Penitentiary in Ontario when his name came up in connection with 2 other grisly crimes.